Hey folks, we're talking a major stock news with the puppy here. As the markets fall off, my 250K portfolio is definitely trading down today. Probably about a good 10,000 at the bottom here. We're rebounding a little bit. I want to go over some of the crypto Tesla news because as soon as I buy Tesla stock, the first thing that happens is it falls off a cliff. We're going to get into some of this market news, what I'm looking at buying, what I'm looking at doing here. But let's kick this off by first of all talking about why Tesla's falling off a cliff right now, because I wish I waited just a tiny bit longer. Geez, it only feels like I made the video yesterday. Hey guys, I'm buying Tesla back at like $670, $700 a share, and here we are at friggin' in the 500s here, and it all because, you know, Elon had to send a tweet from the Tesla news station being like, oh my god guys, we got sustainability problems, which is crazy ironic because I just heard Kevin O'Leary talk about this like not even a week ago, which is basically that the coins that are being mined right now are largely being mined in China.
When I disclosed that I was moving to 3% weighting, I got a mountain of calls from institutional investors saying, wait a second, where are those coins from? Because currently 60% of coins mined in Bitcoin come from China, where they don't care about sustainability, and they certainly have issues around human rights. And so there are many institutional clients that do not want to own so-called blood coin from China.
Let's just take a moment and unpack all of this, and then we'll talk about the markets a little bit here as well. But when I kind of saw these headlines, guys, they're so clickbait terrible. And when it comes to crypto especially, you really got to dig down into it, because Elon shared the tweet of the release coming from Tesla, basically saying that, hey guys, we're not going to be accepting Bitcoin for Teslas anymore. And everyone is kind of taking that the wrong way, because they are still holding their Bitcoin. They're not selling their Bitcoin. And I found it really neat because there's a really juicy tidbit of information that's been widely overlooked from the clickbait headlines, is that they are looking for another way to either mine crypto, I would presume, or looking for another coin that is a little bit more energy sustainable. And I really wouldn't be surprised, because this has come up a lot in conversation, which is, you know, I'm really wouldn't be surprised if Tesla start allowing their vehicles maybe to mine Bitcoin, or they start using Dojo or some of their other means to start collecting the crypto the same way Kevin O'Leary does it, by owning the miners to be 100% certain about where the coins are coming from that they're actually creating and buying.
There's no reason a North American miner can't lead the way and take away the leadership from the Chinese, who do not mine sustainably. Now, that may not matter to you, but it matters to a lot of institutions. And until everybody gets on board and stops burning coal to create electricity to mine coin, it's going to start to have a huge differentiation, like oil and water. We have got to fix this industry, and we also have to go back to our politicians in various jurisdictions, including Europe, including Canada, including in the States, where there's a threat now that some governors are talking about making Bitcoin mining illegal.
And I guess that's a bigger problem than we were all anticipating, because I got to admit, I largely overlooked the fact that, Kevin O'Leary was saying that, hey, there's a sustainability problem with Bitcoin. It's coming a lot out of China. China doesn't give a crap about any of this, and they're just using coal and any means necessary to make the money and mine the coins. So we need to try and find a new way of doing this. And like I said, I thought this was just more of a political rhetoric of, have to be perfect, tie on, and everything nice and pristine. But I guess this is a much bigger problem than even I could have looked at. And my God, did it send Tesla stock flying down? It sent Bitcoin on a bit of a volatility roller coaster today. And guys, I just wait to buy these things until I buy them, because as soon as I buy them, always they drop. They literally just have to drop the second I buy them. I don't know if this is good or bad news, because it's one of these just things that's happening right now. And I honestly wouldn't be surprised again. And I would just be patient to wait for some kind of news to come out where they start integrating some kind of Bitcoin mining into the Tesla program. But putting that little bit aside, guys, even just talking about Dogecoin in and of itself right now, which I can't even believe is still holding up in the mix of all of this, because I feel like we're starting to get to a peak market saturation. And I know this because everybody on my entire Facebook page right now, people that are old friends, they're like, hey guys, are you buying Bitcoin? You should use ShakePay. Use my referral code. I've got all these people sending me referral codes to buy Bitcoin. I got all these people asking me about Dogecoin and whether they should be buying it or not. And this is so reminiscent of every hype trend that we've been through, whether it was like Pokemon Go, fidget spinners, and it just seems like we're at this peak now where there's no actual applicable application for these currencies for these people other than a means of storing value and investing. And most of these people aren't buying it because they're investors, guys. They're buying it because it's cool. It's like GameStop all over again. And I'm a little concerned. I know a lot of people are going to keep trying to push this higher. I mean, we're seeing Elon saying that we're going to be taking Dogecoin to the literal moon by putting it inside a satellite. And it took him long enough to say all this stuff. He sent out a little thing saying, hey, would it be awesome if Tesla starts accepting Dogecoin instead of Bitcoin? And like, I mean, he's been really pushing this narrative forward, and I'm curious if it's enough to sustain this really expensive price, guys. I mean, people don't understand that if you're buying Dogecoin today, it needs to go from like $60 billion in market valuation to like 120 for you to double your money. It's not like when Dogecoin was trading for like, you know, a couple $100 million. It's trading for crazy multiples right now. In order for you to double your money again and again, I mean, guys, you're talking about going from what we just went through to literally double the market saturation, double the market hype, and I just don't see it happening pertainably. I'm not buying any Doge. It's not really part of my story. I love watching Graham Stephan go on about, you know, interviewing the Dogecoin millionaire, which, by the way, I think the guy's kind of nuts.
What was it like for you watching your portfolio drop $1 million in an hour?
I'm not gonna lie, man. It was a little nerve-wracking. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sitting there, and the thing is this, like I said this in a Newsweek article too, it would be disingenuous of me to just show the gains, right? Oh, I just made $1 million, $2 million, I'm almost at 3 million, 2.9 million, this is crazy, and act like Dogecoin never dips. That's gonna happen.
20 years of a salary, it's gone in an hour.
I feel like I just have so much faith in Dogecoin and the community that we're gonna hold strong and we're gonna come together, and this is really for the people and for the community, that it will eventually rise again.
I think anybody that, you know, makes over $1 million+, like the guy was up like 2 million on it, him YOLOing his life on the Dogecoin, which didn't work so well for some other people that YOLO'd. I mean, we could go way back in time. You want to talk about things like the YOLO wolf there that thought it was a good idea to short Apple, guys.
Shut up!
I don't know. Anytime your money goes up that much, it'd probably be wise to at least pull half off the table. I know the guy says he's really big into the Dogecoin community, and they're great, and he'll take it to zero or he'll ride it to the moon. But I think that's kind of insane talk, in my opinion, because it's enough to retire, guys. I mean, take the $1 million out, leave $1 million on the table, call it a day, right? But speaking of the YOLO wolf, for those that you don't remember, we should talk about Apple. We should talk about Facebook, Microsoft, Amazon, Google. What is going on with tech right now? And what should you be doing about it? Because, oh my God, my portfolio is down about $5,000, $10,000 because of this. And I'm looking across the board right now, guys, and I'm just not that excited yet. There's not enough to make me want to jump in heavy right now. Maybe I buy 2 more shares of Tesla if it keeps down in the 500s here, just around my share position off the 20. But honestly, across the spectrum of the entire markets right now, guys, there's this rhetoric going on CNBC that anytime Tesla or Apple or Facebook or these stocks start dropping, there's speculation around, can they keep these numbers up? Can they post another 30 or 40% revenue growth in the next quarter? Are they going to be able to sustain with 5G coming out? Is that going to be the next relevant catalyst to keep it going? And honestly, I hate this whole rhetoric, guys, because I'm just a ride or die. Buy these things, set them, forget them, unless some crazy thing happens. I think these companies are going to do just fine. So if they keep dipping, Apple trading down about 11%, Facebook not off its highs too much. They're all the entire tech is roughly sold off at this point, and it's a good time to start cost averaging in. Me, however, this isn't enough for me to want to jump the gun. I've been very aggressive on stacking cash, trying to put myself in a good financial stable position just due to the loss of my career, the fact that I'm in this very volatile weird shift where I'm doing a lot of sponsorships on this video, on this channel, which I know a lot of you guys might not be the biggest fan of the sponsorship videos, but honestly, they're paying my bills in a way I could have never imagined, and they're just setting me up in a place where I feel a lot more comfortable, less anxious about what I'm doing and where I'm going. So I really, really want to thank the sponsors for all of that, because yeah, guys, between that and the dividends, I mean, I'm sitting on enough cash right now that I could make some rather large investments in the market, but I'm probably just going to avoid it for the time being because the markets haven't dropped enough. There's really nothing that attractive out there right now. I mean, you look at Apple still trading at almost a 30 PE. I'd buy Facebook here if I was starting from scratch, but from my personal level of having this portfolio fairly built up, the only thing that seems really attractive to me is buying the index funds, because the index funds just guarantee that long-term stability. But other than that, it's just dividends, dividends, dividends. And even the dividends, guys, aren't that appealing right now. Most of the stocks that I want to buy, like Hydro One, are still trading up to fairly decent highs. They're not going back down into the dips we've recently experienced. And other than that, across the board, I ask you guys, what dividend stocks or what stocks in general are you buying out there? And when you just look across the entire platter of what could we buy today, and there's just nothing that's speaking to me. There's nothing that's making me scream from the bottom of my soul, I need to own this, which sucks. I mean, it used to be like shooting fish in a barrel, guys. You could have bought anything. You could have bought the banks. You could have bought the Procters and Gambles of the world and the Cloroxes and have made a bloody fortune. And, you know, you're probably sitting up 30 to 50% in capital gains right now, because I am from when I was last buying them. But like, what do you do now, guys? The banks are trading toward all-time highs. Anything that I'd love to buy is still trading up way, way too much. And it just seems still like an appropriate time to just mitigate it, you know, keep cost averaging into your regular stocks. But like I said, guys, I'm just going to stack cash and just see what comes in the near term. And yeah, just I'll let you guys know for sure. So consider subscribing, because I do weekly updates, and I'll probably do a full portfolio breakdown tomorrow just to see where we're at. Just a little dip of the news today, folks, with taking the dogs for a walk. I know some of you don't think I get that much exercise, because when I did my last walking video, you guys were like, oh, it's so nice to see you out doing something and getting exercise. It's like, guys, I do go out almost every day for exercise. Just because I don't put it in my videos for the 5-10 minutes I talk on these things doesn't mean I'm just sitting in my room all day, you know, hiding in fear and getting annoyed that we're not inoculated yet up in the Great White North. And the inoculations are hopefully coming here soon, guys. I know you guys in the US are like, hey, we're all open and everything's good. Not up in Canada. We can't just open because hospitals are getting overrun. It's not actually that funny or great at all. It's kind of crappy. So that's why I'm making these videos out here. So stay cool, stay awesome, and I look forward to catching you tomorrow.